RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
Well, hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you. How's it sounding? How's it looking? I'm looking a little raggedy. I need a haircut. All right. Thank you for hanging out. I see the chat room has people. Who just ran by? Was that a ghost? Yeah. My name is Tara Devlin. Unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy. Okay, great. Thank you, Twisted Nerves Painting. Looks good. Audio's great. Very good. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, this, that, and the third. Uh-oh, here's Francis. He's annoying me now. I had to put Spooky in the bedroom. Spooky escaped. Here's Francis. Oh, Jesus Christ. I scared him. I dropped my phone. And he got scared. Okay, yeah, Spooky escaped his playpen. Well, he can chew, so, and that tube area thing that I have for him so he can stretch his little stumps, he, without me noticing, he just chewed through it. I'm going to have to get another one. And he was under the chair, and I don't know why he wanted to do that. There's nothing really under the chair for him. No vegetables, no peppers, no leaves for him to chew on. He's very cute, I gotta tell you. One of these days, I'll get him out when we're starting the show. They don't like to be grabbed. I didn't know this about guinea pigs until now. I'm learning because I'm taking care of my little one. And so it doesn't matter. You know, he's very friendly, but they just don't like being grabbed because it makes them feel like they're going to get murdered. But if you just, I got to grab him every now and then because I got to bring him into the playpen and all. And when you just look at him right in the face, he's very adorable. He's very cute little thing. So, well, maybe later, if I can, maybe I'll grab him and show you like you haven't seen a guinea pig. All right, listen, guys, we are here. We're here on our regularly scheduled Friday night get together. And thank you. I see this chat room is really filling up. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat right out of the gate. If you're on other platforms, the chat room I'll be interacting with is at youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster. And do guinea pigs burrow? Says Haiku. I don't know. I think they might. They do hide. They like little hidey spots. But I haven't seen him, burrow. He did actually the forage, That's part of what I have a little thing for him where I put his food. It's some of these brands, it's called Natural Behaviors. So he likes to dig and find his favorite parts of the food, I guess. But it's in a thing, and he has to open the lid. It's very cute. Especially they have little hands that are just stumps, really. He's adorable. And very happy. I feel bad. I got to get him a friend. They need other guinea pigs, but I don't know. I just don't have the room. I'm going to have to figure something out. And, yeah. That means 200 poops I got to clean up. Not just 100 every day. I'm always cleaning up after him. You have to. But it comes with the territory, right? That's what we do for those we love. We clean up after them. Clean up their poops. Except, well, Donald Trump. I don't think anybody cleans up his poop. Do you think there's anybody that cleans his poop up for him? His diapers, I'm talking about? No. No one loves him that much. I mean, he might pay somebody, one of his poor put-upon cleaning ladies or whatnot, that they have to. Yeah, I'm sure when he changes his diaper, when he takes his diaper off, he just throws it. There's no consideration for anybody else, right? He's a horrible person. And okay, so this is what we'll talk about. We had the show on Wednesday. It's kind of a continuation, really, because nothing. What did we say on Wednesday? This shit's still going to be going on, and honestly, I'm really sick of it. I was sick of it the day after the debate. And I don't know about you, but I've been calling every time I turn around when another one of these traitor Dems come out of the closet bashing Biden. I pick up the phone and call them, leave a message. Sometimes they pick up. I called Hakeem Jeffries earlier, and not him personally, his staff picked up, and I just said, this is what we've been saying. Frankly, think about it. I've been listening to other liberal talk shows, other independent liberal talk shows. And speaking of, if you can become a patron, please do at patreon.com/Tara because now more than ever we need the support. Frankly, why do I say frankly a lot? I do say that, right? I say frankly, I say obviously a lot, right? I also go a lot. I try. Okay, see, there I go again. But yes, so we need support. The show needs to get some support, frankly, if you can. I could see that the numbers are getting higher. We have more people watching the show. That's great. And I can see that your work, you guys, the OG Tarabusters work, getting the word out, is making a difference. But we should. I'm just looking at Boudica because she's destroying something as always. We just need some practical patrons or one-off donations. Yeah, that's it. Okay, enough e-begging. All right. If you get anything out of the show, that's all I'm asking. A little help here up in this bitch to keep this bitch going. Keep the show going, because what else we got? We don't got the corporate media, and I'm going to get into that. I can't handle it. I cannot handle it. Yes, the shorts you did were great. Do more of those, Twisted Nerves painting, with clips from the show. Yeah, I got to do that. You're right. I made a short on TikTok. I don't even know. It's got a lot of views now. It's over. Let me look. Last I looked, it was 4,000. And TikTok's pretty good, apparently, for that. But I do need to get shorts. Wait, let me see. Yeah, 4,495 views so far. And yes, I got to do that. And I will. And Hernan helps. He does shorts though. He doesn't do the shorts. Technically, the ones that are 9x16, he does shorter clips of the show that are, this aspect ratio. But we do need shorts, exactly. Exactamundo, said the Fonz. All right, and yeah, okay. So this has been going on. It's really annoying. I don't know if you saw the barn burner speech that President Biden just gave, and I can't even tell you how pleasantly surprised I am at Joe Biden with he sounds like Bernie Sanders. I don't know if you've noticed this, but it goes to show you exactly what I've been saying for years. Progressive, it's being a progressive, being a normal person, being a Democrat, normal person, progressive, liberal. It simply means being capable of functioning in a free democratic society, a nation of laws, a diverse nation of immigrants, and, caring about your fellow Americans, not wanting to leave anybody behind. That's what it means. And if the policies that Republicans propose and cling to, like cult members, like trickle down and this deregulation at any price, just deregulate, as if, remember when Trader Trump, when he was squatting in the White House, despite receiving fewer votes, he said that he had, I think it was an executive order, or maybe he just pulled it out of his ass, said for every regulation that is proposed, if there's a regulation that goes into effect, 2 regulations have to be removed. I mean, is that the stupidest thing? The stupidest policy. It's the policies. It's a policy for morons who don't know anything, who don't know what they're doing. They're not actually trying to have a functioning government that works for all. He's just trying to put on a show for the dupes. Oh, we hate regulations. Why do you hate oh, they stand in the way of business? Why? Because business can't clean up their filthy waste without dumping it into our commons? Or, they can't seem to make a buck unless they can exploit workers? Or I mean, regulations, we have regulations for a reason. Because people like Trump, because of greedy ghouls who don't give a shit about their fellow Americans, they don't care if they build a hovel not to regulation and it comes crashing down on somebody's head in 10 years, right? They'll be long gone with the money. Hold on. We'll be right back. So, to say that taking one regulation away or putting a regulation in and it means you must take two away. What the fuck? And these are the choices. So today, another day, it's 15 days now, guys, since the debate. And honestly, I was listening to Biden speak tonight, and he was amazing. He was great. And I thought, hopefully this is because he's pissed off. He laid out a 100-day agenda, and that's what he has to do. These are the options. You can have $35 insulin, or you can have a dictator who wants to kiss Putin's ass. And I did appreciate, too, in his speech, in Biden's speech tonight, he mentioned something about that he wouldn't be confiscating the transcripts or something like that. Meaning, I was happy to hear that, because I feel like I'm the only one that mentions and repeats again and again that Traitor Trump not only embarrassed us in front of the world when he met with Putin at Helsinki, when they gave that joint press conference where Traitor Trump gave Putin a pass for interfering in our elections. Because, Trump is a traitor, in case you haven't noticed. And when after that press conference, he met with Putin behind closed doors with no Americans present. And he confiscated the transcript. There was the only other person in the room was a Russian translator, and he took the transcript. So, what do you think is in that transcript? I'm sure it's destroyed by now, but what do you think they talked about there? Making, living wages, retirement security, protecting the dumbass's pre-existing conditions. Right? Because that's another thing Republicans like to say. We will always protect your pre-existing conditions, except you don't, because you're in court trying to destroy pre-existing conditions, doing all you can to ensure that the American people are stressed out to the max. Any lifeline that's thrown to the American people, trust me, Republicans are in court trying to undo it. Wait, hold on. And in fact, I just saw, I put it in my little pile of articles. IRS, this is another thing Biden did. And and by the way, the stock market again closed at a record high today. Thanks, Joe Biden, right? I mean, for everything he's done. And this is why I called Hakeem Jeffries, because even though his endorsement, it's been lukewarm, but I called him to say, to please pass on what we've been saying here since the goddamn debate. I asked him politely to get, not him, the guy who answered the phone, to get his members in line, to get these damn Democrats in line. This is a self-inflicted wound. Let me repeat again, the only response to the question, should Biden drop out, should be, yeah, well, there is one person that needs to drop out of this race, and that's the tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator con man with the fake university, the fake vitamin scam, the one who sent a mob to to kill his vice president because he is not man enough to respect the peaceful transfer of power, the one who called Georgia and said, I want you to find me enough votes to win, the one who used taxpayer money as his own personal extortion fund, the one who is adjudicated a rapist, the one who is a felon 35 times over and more to come, the one who promises to be a dictator on day one. You know, that guy who kisses Putin's ass, writes love letters to dictators, and met with Putin in secret behind closed doors and confiscated the transcript. That's the guy who needs to be stepping down from the race. The one who left the country a land of mass graves. That was never did I ever think I'd see that. The one who killed over 1 million Americans with his ineptitude. That guy. Where we never heard the New York Times come out and say, for the sake of the country, Trader Trump needs to step down because clearly he doesn't know what he's doing. Our first responders, our frontline workers in the middle of this global pandemic are wearing garbage bags and reusing their 95 whatever the hell that is, that their masks. And I never heard the New York Times proclaim Trump unfit, because everything he's graded on a curve, and it's completely unfair. So if this is Biden, if Biden's economy, if the jobs he's created, the record highs in unemployment, or yes, I guess that's how you know what I'm saying, the record stock market, the corporate profits through the roof, by the way. So whatever these corporate assholes are complaining about, they might be upset that Biden says he's going to raise their taxes. He's going to raise billionaires' taxes because they only pay 8.5%. And that's what was in his speech tonight, too. He said, how are we going to pay for it? He wants to make $35 insulin across the board for everyone. He wants to make it so no American has to pay more than $2,000 a year for prescription drugs. That's a life changer for this country until we get universal health care. And he also said that not only is he going to protect Social Security, which is on the chopping block in Project 2025, by the way, as is Medicare, as is the VA. But he said we'll be able to not only protect Social Security, but expand it. He's singing my song, man. I don't get Social Security yet, but I understand that we're in this together. This is what I can't stand about Republicans besides everything else. Like, for example, when the student loan forgiveness was happening, and we've talked about this before, when I posted a video about how student loan forgiveness is good for America and it helps everyone. And then some dumb bitch, I only can assume by her comments, posted, you mean it's good for you, right? Because a right-winger cannot ever see the light unless something affects them directly. And I responded to them, this person, no, I already paid off my student loans. I paid mine off. So years ago, it took a long time. I paid it off, but I didn't go to an Ivy League college. I did have a large student loan debt. It was big, enough for me, right? No other country do you have to come out with giant debt to the bank. But so I explained, I said, no, it's not just good for me because I paid off my student loans. But then that's what Republicans, conservatives, and of course the corporate media, they talk about. I remember at the time, they still do it, like Willie Geist on Morning Joe talking about student loan forgiveness. Well, what about the unfairness of it? It's so unfair for the others who had to pay off their loans. As if that's the fucking primary thing that we should be concerned with. And hold on a second. What about the unfairness? So we should all have the shitty struggles as the generations that come before us, right? Nobody. If I mean, we'd never make any goddamn progress at all. If that was the case, how selfish, how stupid can you be? But this is what they do. This is the corporate media. This is the elite. I got mine. Sucks to be you. It's time to expand our paradigm of what it means to be a patriot. And we know what it is. It's not wearing red, white, and blue fashion abortions. It's considering your fellow Americans. It's caring what kind of country you live in, the opportunities that we create, that we foster, investing in each other, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, it's not that hard. And the system, the policies that Republicans are proposing, this Project 2025, is terrifying if they ever, God forbid, get power. That's the end of this. That's the end of the grand experiment, guys. That's it. I don't care how many made in China American flags they wave, or how much they call themselves patriot this, patriot that, liberty, patriotism, freedom front, patriotism, blah, blah, like everything's freedom, patriot. You're not patriotic. God damn you. If you wear hats with effing Donald Trump giving the middle finger, who are you giving the middle finger to? Your fellow Americans? I mean, the one thing, well, not just one thing, but all the things we could say. I mean, progressives don't act like that. We don't think like that. I'm not here talking about policies that I believe, and because, not just because I believe it, like trickle down, like these effing traitors think that trickle down, and we know that the elites like Reagan and the Republicans back in the day that inflicted this trickle down, they knew it wasn't going to trickle down. You realize that they proposed it and passed it. That's the scam they told the dumbasses, because they were working for the system we're on the precipice of. They never wanted a democracy. They need the American people nice and desperate and easily played, easily malleable. So that's why everywhere you look, they're undermining or whittling away at the pillars of democracy. Everything that ensures freedom and democracy, they attack. They destroy. So, when we invest in each other, you don't know if this. I know they keep saying it's such bullshit, right? The meritocracy, right? That's what we're supposed to be. Now we have a king who's above the law, of course, which needs to be changed. Notice how no one is worrying or fretting that President Biden's going to be a dictator. No one is worrying, even though he has, because thanks to this filthy, corrupt Supreme Court, he has immunity now. He could send SEAL Team 6 on a very important mission to save America from this tax-cheating, draft-dodging, stolen ballot, dirtbag Putin puppet, grifter. So, but no one's even contemplating it, because different rules for Democrats. Democrats play by the rules, much to my frustration a lot, because when you're up against an evil enemy that doesn't care about the rules. They know Democrats are playing by the rules. So they mock the rules. They spit in the face of the rules. And then when Democrats, if they ever do stray outside the line, the Republicans scream and cry. They go on their propaganda outlets. They go on Fox News and whine about how much of a victim they are, how the tyranny is coming, and they have no shame. No shame. Everything they say. In fact, one of these effing Project 2025 traitors was going on about how the liberals want a dictatorship, and mark my words, if they get power, we will be living in an unconstitutional dictatorship, extra or whatever, extra I can't talk, extra contra, maybe, oh gee, there I go. Maybe I guess I shouldn't be president. I just mixed up my words. Extra constitutional, whatever, witch hunt. I'm thinking of two different things. See, you say anybody can trip over their fucking words. And I don't know if you noticed too, today, I know I can't be president, Pookie's mommy. I had too many thoughts in my head and different words, it came out wrong. So, I know. And today, on the corporate media, I wish I had grabbed a picture of it. The lower third said Biden mixes up the names of Zelensky and VP Harris. That could happen to anyone. His press conference was a masterclass, frankly. Nobody could stand there and rattle off numbers and foreign policy, anything. The way he had such a grasp on the issues. Try that with Trump, okay? It would never happen because he doesn't know shit. He's an ignoramus, and all he does is lie. What would he say? Oh, it's coming in 2 weeks, probably. My plan is coming. What do you think about this? What do you think about foreign policy? What do you think about? Oh, it would never happen. If I was president, it would never happen. That wouldn't happen. Only thing, rainbows would fly out of everyone's ass. That's what would happen if he was president. No wars would ever happen. Even though he's full of shit. Now he's saying he's such a peacenik. Bullshit. He was involved with wars as well, and he's a liar. So we know that. But one of the things I saw, what I heard Biden say in his speech tonight was, it's time to elect a president, not on, I'm trying to remember how he put it. I was looking for the transcript of the speech, but I couldn't find it. But, it's time to elect a president on substance, not just on style, whether they can perform. And that's the truth. I don't know about you, but I haven't heard a single one of the people who watch this show, or routinely, I'll get messages from people reaching out, and I listen to other liberal talk shows, and I haven't heard one person who calls into a liberal talk show or has a liberal talk show. Not one of them has said Biden needs to step down. All I hear, and from the audience too, is this is fucking outrageous. Enough with this witch hunt. This is a witch hunt. And Biden gave an amazing speech tonight. And of course, Katy Tur would say, he's on a teleprompter. Not always. People are, and first of all, that doesn't even matter. Trump is on a teleprompter too. And when he goes off the teleprompter, he starts talking about sharks and batteries and other bullshit. He just lies and pontificates about just the most ridiculous things. Do you want to drive an electric car? Boo! God help us. And so somebody shouted out, there was the people in the audience at Biden's speech were rather animated, and it was nice to see. And he was responding to them. He's like, "You goddamn right." I wish, more of that, please. That's all. More of that. More of the unapologetic fighter. He called Trump a rapist, a felon, a criminal, Herbert Hoover. Absolutely. This is what we need. That's Joe Biden. And, wait, hold on. There's a lot of things happening. My nose is itchy. Thank you, Matt, for your super chat. President Biden, every day you are older than the day prior. How can you reassure concerned voters that you won't end up drooling in a bowl of oatmeal brought by your night nurse. Exactly. It doesn't matter. Even if he says, don't worry, I'm not, that doesn't happen. I can assure you there'll be headlines, Biden in denial. That's what really pissed me off, too. Besides everything else, is that after he gave that press conference and he said, look, I'm not stepping down. I'm not bowing out. Like, fuck off. The headline screamed again, Biden in denial, not stepping down. Now, look at the Huffington Post right now. Again, another day, another blaring, screaming headline on the Huffington Post. Biden meeting with Dems gets messy. Rep tells him to step aside, then goes public. Who's that fucker? Last night. Another one. The senator. Hold on a second. Here comes the music. This is Tara Devlin. Become a patron, if you will. So, look at this shit. Biden scrutiny continues. Trump returns to campaign trail. Dem Congresswoman, oh no, wait, see, I read it wrong. Congressman told Biden he should step aside during call with Hispanic lawmakers. Youth climate group that organized for Biden calls on him to exit the race. This is so fucking unnecessary, okay? And I called up Hakeem Jeffries. I called up that asshole last night because Biden, he gave a press conference last night. He did rather well, I think. But what, of course, the Fox News, the fascists, and the Twitter vomit, they were all, the only thing they talked about is that he mixed up VP Harris and Zelensky. Anybody can do that. It's ridiculous. So now every time he mixes up somebody's name or whatever, I fucking do it. We do it. You do it. I do. I just did it. If you're talking a lot, it's in your brain. I mean, I'll call Boudica Ray. I'll call Ray Boudica. You know, it's like, whatever. He's a human being. But Trump is worse. Trump on his best day, which is also his worst day, is 1,000 times more unfit than Biden is. I mean, if this is Biden, if Biden has, let me just see, hold on, given us, he's been doing rather well. I don't know if you've noticed, but then of course the corporate media will say it's not breaking through. Why isn't it breaking through? Well, because maybe if you spent the 24/7 circle jerk on Biden's accomplishments, not simply the breaking news he's old, then maybe it would break through. You think? It would break through. It would. We know that for a fact. I mean, propaganda. That's why that's not propaganda. You know, propaganda just means a political speech that has a slant, and it's not necessarily untrue in a way, but it's the definition of propaganda has changed over time. I realize that. But Biden's the fact that it's not breaking through, what I hear, of course, Katy Tur, she's undercover MAGA, no doubt. It takes no responsibility. In fact, today, I almost spit out my coffee, my 15th cup of coffee, when she said, why can't we have a system like in England or overseas? I'm just trying to find it because I tweeted at her, like, are you kidding me, lady? You know? Hold on. Where is it? How come I can never find my tweets? While I'm looking for that, become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. There's a PayPal link in the description. You can also donate on PayPal. Oh, here it is. Somebody retweeted it. Oh, yeah. She was interviewing this Atlantic asshole, who I grabbed that footage because I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and they were saying he said something about Trump is spending all his time working on election integrity so the election isn't stolen from him again. That's how he put it. But there was no, I understand he meant that's what Trump believes, but he didn't qualify it or correct himself. And it was all day going on about how Biden should drop out, but what about this? What about George Clooney? Stephen King said something, and what do you think? And that James Carville said something, and oh God, we'll get to him. And here's the thing, guys. It doesn't work like this. Actually, let's do the James Carville while I'm talking about it, because we were gonna do it on Wednesday. In case you missed it, James Carville, he's really, if somebody needs to retire, I think it's him. He was on Andrea Mitchell's show. Earlier today.
But you're the magician. You could do it.
You're the magician, because that's what they say. Is he really a magician? He wrote an article, probably the most ridiculous one of the Democrats in the circular firing squad. He wrote an article for the New York Times, because the New York Times clearly has it out for President Biden. James Carville, Biden won't win. Democrats need a plan. Here's one. What? Democrats don't need a plan. We have a plan. Biden's the nominee. He has the delegates. We're going to the convention. He's going to be nominated. Any other distraction from this? Any other conversation that doesn't include the destruction the destruction of traitor Trump? That's the focus. You don't destroy your own candidate. But this is what I should say. Let me qualify that. You shouldn't destroy your own candidate. James Carville writes, mark my words, Joe Biden is going to be out of the 2024 presidential race. Okay, mark my words. Mark my words, guys. If Joe Biden wins, right, if he doesn't drop out of the race, which he says he's not dropping out of, so everybody, especially in the Democratic Party, and, really, especially, because we can't control the filthy corporate media, but the Democrats should be able to control themselves, right? So they need to shut their mouths, because they're not helping. They're the ones weakening the president. No wonder. And the other thing is another poll. You know what I think about the polls. Just remember that Hillary Clinton. I remember the election night, I was in the city, and I remember looking at my phone about what was going on with the results. And it said 90% chance of Hillary Clinton winning. That was I don't know if it was the Cook, it was that other one, 350 or whatever. That was supposed to be they need to just shut up with these polls. The polls in the midterms said that the Democrats were going to get trounced. They were going to lose the Senate. They were going to lose the House. Everybody's going to lose. Biden, it's going to be a bloodbath. It never happened. And with all this incessant... Oh, yeah, Nate Silver. Thank you, Ed, on the chat. With all the incessant attack, this witch hunt against Biden, he's still not... That hasn't really taken a hit, apparently, with the polls. It's what I've been hearing. You know, they're still within the margin of error. It's moved a little, 2% this way, 2% that way. But don't you think it would be a lot more if people were truly buying into this bullshit? But I couldn't believe listening to Katy Tur go on about how why can't we have a system like in England or other places? Why is it that our system, why are we even talking about this now? In England, they have 90 days or whatever their campaign season is. And I'm like, are you kidding me, lady? Katy Tur, you're on a big platform. You get paid a lot of money, honey. And you sit there, you got a lot of eyeballs. You don't have to say, please become a patron. But I know the reason we don't have that is because of money in politics. And why? Why does the corporate media? Why are we even discussing this now? Because the corporate media needs that stupid campaign cash. That's how they make money. This is a big deal for the corporate media. They take these political ads are important to their bottom line. So it's a circle jerk of greed and corruption. So why can't we have nice things? I mean, you should know this, for Christ's sakes. Katy? It's incredible. I'm just trying to find one. I can't find it, man. Oh, here comes the music. Makes the people. Hold on, become a patron. Damn it. Damn it! But I find it, isn't that outrageous how these pundits are supposed to know things and then they just wash their hands? Why is it that President Biden's accomplishments aren't breaking through? Why is it that we can't have a slimmed down election season? What? I mean, I don't understand. What rock did you crawl out of? Why is it? Because the answer to both of those questions is the corporate media. For real. For real. Right, exactly. Twisted Nerves Painting says, hey, Katy, ask those GOP strategists from Trump's campaign you had dinner with a few months back. Exactly, right? All right, well, let's listen to this James Carville asshole.
But is that chaos? Is that
chaos.
The recipe for chaos? And you've got
is that
Chicago.
Chaos? Because he's talking about. I didn't get the beginning of the sentence. Is this primary, this snap primary you're proposing? Is that chaos? This is his idea.
The memories of 1968. If there's no peace breaking out in Gaza, you've got demonstrations.
It's unbearable.
Angela, it might be chaos. I'll tell you what we're doing right now. We're doing exactly what Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago want us to do.
So what? Don't throw me in that briar patch. We're doing what Donald Trump wants us to do. Why are we always on the back foot playing defense? They insist that Biden's going to lose. He's going to lose if you keep insisting it and not supporting him. He's not breaking through in the swing states. Well, go to the fucking swing states and knock on doors. And what should happen? The Democrats should go after the media, too. This is a witch hunt. It is. I've never seen anything like it, really. Have you? Have we ever seen anything like this? Maybe it's escaping my memory, but where a corporate media is in such lockstep attacking one candidate when another candidate is so bottomless, manifestly from head to toe, every cell is patently and completely unfit for service. It's incredible. And then you have Biden, and they all preface their attacks with, he's been a great president. I love him. He's done more than anybody could ever have imagined. He's done more than Obama, than presidents in the last 50 years. And then you go into, but he's got to go. He can't win. Well, what do you fucking think? What happens? This is why it's a joke, because we have, as loose as they are, thanks to the filthy, disgusting, corrupt, and illegitimate Supreme Court, but there are campaign finance laws that even if the Democrats have a blitz primary, that's the word, that's what he said, we need a blitz primary where Obama and Bill Clinton help pick the candidate, and never mind the VP, right? Like, she can go fuck herself, but that's the way it is. But even if they held a blitz primary to select a new candidate, Biden's campaign funds do not automatically transfer to the new Democratic nominee. You understand that? I don't know. How come I understand this, but Katy Tur and Andrea Mitchell and James Carville and every other mouthpiece flying around Katy Tur's show today, how come they don't know this? I know this. I'm not a big campaign finance guru, but you donate. When you donate to the candidate. You don't donate to the party. Handling of campaign funds is governed by regulation. And a significant portion, if Biden were to drop out, a significant portion of the campaign funds would need to be returned to the original donors by law. And then you'd have to trust that they donate again to your candidate, whoever that might be, whoever you're picking out of your ass, like we were just talking on the other show. Like this, and people, I couldn't even believe it, though. When I was listening to Tom Hartman today, and he had a guest host, I think it was Jefferson Smith, Hold on, I'm losing my voice. And I was trying to call in, to tell you the truth, because I was fucking livid. But they were going on about what candidate would be good. Maybe Michelle Obama. Like, what the fuck, man? Stop talking about Michelle Obama or Oprah or George Clooney. They were even floating. Fuck you. I mean, no wonder Biden's pissed. I would be pissed too. His only mistake is that he's old. But he's been an amazing, consequential president that's been able to get a lot of things done because of his experience. And I'm happy that he's understood. He's not doing we got to cut Medicare and Social Security. He wants to expand it. He's adopted the FDR Democratic Party again and trying to breathe life into it, because that's exactly what we need. And the Democrats need to run on that. We're the party of Social Security. We're the party of Medicare and Medicaid, of leaving no one behind, of pre-existing conditions protections. We're the ones that don't leave people on the battlefield. So, but to talk about this blitz primary, there are restrictions. And on top of that, not only can it doesn't just go to whatever fantasy candidate you've made up out of your ass, there are restrictions on the transfer of whatever money you might have left. The laws place strict limitations on how campaign funds are transferred, or even if they can be. The funds can't be simply handed over to another candidate. How come James Carville doesn't know this? So in 4 months, you're gonna build the amount of donations that Joe Biden, I mean, he has a massive war chest, so to speak. Oh, God. they would need to. Here's the deal. The Democratic National Committee, if Biden withdraws from the race, the Democratic National Committee and other party organizations like the DCCC and all that, they would have to start fresh in terms of fundraising with a new nominee. Pardon me. So there's also time constraints. There'd be limited time to even get this person's name on the ballot in states. Those are the logistical concerns. But you see what I'm saying? So what they're doing, what James Carville is doing, and all the George Clooney is doing, and Rob Reiner and all these other fuckers are doing, is screwing us. That's it. They're jerking off basically the Republican Party. They're doing the Republican Party a very big favor. And I'm sure they're laughing their asses off. Because you wouldn't see this happening, right? On the other side, because they're not stupid like this. Because they're just cynical power seekers. And so having James Carville on to go on about this, rather than spending your show time where you have a lot of Americans watching, instead of spending your time educating them on the policies, on the platform, comparing, contrasting that with Project 2025 and and the promises to be a dictator and everything else, the rape, the felonies, the ongoing criminal charges, the classified documents in the shitter, and on and on. Go do another story on his long list of scams. If you don't want to go that far back in time, just stick to the more recent scams. Trump bucks, right? That's a big scam that these assholes bought Trump bucks because their dear leader told them it was an investment. These assholes actually showed up to the bank trying to cash in their investment. Trump bucks. Fucking unreal. Well, here, let's continue with him.
That read Tim Alberta, one of the best journalists in America. And if the Democratic Party is hell-bent on pleasing Donald Trump, then go ahead and do this.
You. Oh, my God.
It's just that simple.
Pleasing Donald Trump? You're pleasing Trump. Hold on.
And, what always happens is the Washington types, well, you have Clinton and Obama.
You're not a Washington type, right? You're not a Washington type. Please Donald Trump. You're pleasing Donald Trump. I don't understand how this is such a hard concept to get your fucking mind around. Your tiny mind. Incredible. If you want to please Donald Trump, well, you're pleasing Donald Trump by not shutting your hole and following my advice. The only response is, one person needs to drop out, and it's the traitor, the felon, the rapist, the con man, the grifter, the liar, the one who's and the other thing. That's what gets me too. How Donald Trump stood up there at the debate and lied his ass off every breath he took. And that's okay. That's simply okay with the corporate media. They have basically, they've enabled that as if that's a legitimate choice. That's just some other choice somebody might make. A con man who lies like a fire hose, sprays water, or the guy who stumbled, billions, I mean trillions. Unbelievable. But this guy's supposed to be a genius. He's supposed to be a guru. How come he doesn't know to shut the fuck up? Right? Like the other advertising guru we talked about last show, Donnie Deutsch. If you're trying to get people to buy a product, you don't go out there and say, well, you want like sell, like if you got the Coca-Cola, we were using that analogy last time. If you got the Coca-Cola contract at your advertising agency, you're not like, good, please, by all means, please Pepsi, because this Coke sucks. Pepsi's gonna win the soda wars. By all means, put Coke on the shelf. Tell people, but nobody's going to buy it because it's too old.
Don't just stand there.
Oh, my God.
The way that Washington
away.
kills everything is, fill in the details, James. The details are, we're on
What is he even saying?
to lose an election to a major criminal.
What?
Who is going to
Because of you. Because of you. We're on track to lose an election to a major criminal. And that's the other thing. When they do talk to voters, right? Of course, I was watching MSNBC and they had some voters on. Of course, they do the man on the street bullshit. And then nobody ever asked me, of course. But it's got to be both sides, usually. But they had this time, the only side is the witch hunt. And they were going on about how they had some average Joe saying, like, oh, no, he needs to step down. I'm afraid he's not going to be able to win. And, but I will vote for him if he's the candidate. That's the consensus. So if it seems like he's going to be the candidate, so shut up. Shut up, right? And we have a backup plan. He's not a king. If he needs a nap. Because that's the other thing, this fucking guy from last night. So Biden gave the press conference, and then this senator, before he even saw the press conference, right? He was waiting in the wings. Who's this guy's name? He's from Vermont. Oh, which reminds me, I need to call up... Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I need to call up Bernie Sanders, because he's the senior senator from Vermont. And he needs to take this guy by his ear and just pull him aside. Let me see. What's the guy's name? Okay, I'll look it up. Dems who've told Biden to step aside. Yeah, the first shit. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I don't have a button. Who's the senator? Anyway, I called him up last night. I'm making a lot of calls to these assholes. And he was saying, I'm not the president. I'll never be the president. But, I don't know if Joe Biden's up for the job. And this is a job that's 24/7. You got to wake up at 3 a.m. and all this other shit. Do you really think, by the way, that Trader Trump woke up at 3 a.m.? Oh, he might have been still up because of the Adderall, tweeting. But there's a chain of command. There's a cabinet. There's experts, people who surround the president. He's not the king. But it seems like James Carville doesn't know this. And that the more they go out there saying that Biden's on track, we're on track to lose an election, they are also, not only are they making it a self-fulfilling prophecy, they're giving Trump everything he needs, more ammunition to go out there and say it was stolen from him. They'll just play the clips of James Carville and all the other damn Democrats saying, we're on track to lose in a landslide. It's fucking unbelievable. I gotta tell you, I'm sick of the polls, man. I'm sick of it. Do you think, and I hope, let's see. I thought that, I hoped that after the midterms, that the corporate media might learn their lesson a little bit. Because it seemed like they were kind of saying, looking at themselves, some self-assessment, saying, how did we get it so wrong? I remember the polls. We talked about it here. It was infuriating. The constant polls. And then, which is another self-fulfilling prophecy, but what happens? People were like, no. And then they were saying, oh, Biden's talking too much about democracy and he shouldn't, it's kitchen table. Well, he's got the fucking kitchen table down too. And he's doing pretty good with the democracy, meaning he's not a traitor. And, the more these idiots kneecap him and us, it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what's going to happen. The Republicans, they're already sending traitors. You realize this, they're sending the fake elector traitors, the felons, the ones who are, some of them have active court cases. They're out on parole or whatever on bail. And they've been tapped as delegates to the RNC. These fraudsters, traitors. That wasn't on the media at all today. Except it was all Biden should resign. Where is this double standard from? Enough. It's always been, there's always been a double standard against Democrats. That's the truth. Hold on. And what the Democrats need to do, if they had a clue, I wish they would listen to the show here and get a clue, is they need to go after the media, just like the Republicans went after the media for years, because they didn't like being reported on. They didn't like the truth being told about them. So they complained and said it had a liberal bias, when it's just the truth. Truth has a liberal bias. So they disingenuously attacked one of the pillars of democracy, attacked the press, and, simply for telling the truth about them. But that's what the Democrats, that's what Biden should do. And I heard a hint of it tonight in his speech. And that's what he needs to do. I don't care, Chuck Todd and whoever else on CNN going on and saying, oh, Biden's been in government for 40, 50 years. Isn't it a bit disingenuous for him to call himself to go after the elites? That's what they were saying. So no, it doesn't matter what he does. He done do's. You see, I'll never be president. It doesn't matter what he do. They're gonna go after him, and he can't win. So he needs to go after them. He needs to start going on about a witch hunt. He done did. Exactly. Twisted Nerves painting. He done did. And he needs to, and Democrats, the normal people, not the attention-seeking, ones who are secretly working for Putin, I guess. I don't know. He needs to go out there and attack the media as engaging in a witch hunt, grading him on this standard that they don't hold anywhere near Republicans or Trump. Trump is graded on a curve from... the bar is so low. There is no bar. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he does. But if you're paying attention, you'll you will be as outraged as I am and as we are here on the show, and everyone in the chat room. But, all right, let's keep going with this.
The Western Alliance, the Constitution, and everything in between. So
what
we ought
is
to
he fucking
like
saying
it.
anyway?
What do you
And
think
we ought to
Nancy
act
Well, what do you think Nancy Pelosi and Jim Clyburn, well, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, maybe Hakeem Jeffries, what do you think they're up to?
What are
I
they
think
up
they're
to?
mortified. I think they want to make a change. I think they
Shut
see
the
the path
fuck
that
up.
we're on. People like President Biden for good reason. He's a very personable man. He has an incredible record. He is right. There's no
Then
one
shut
that has
up.
close to the experience he has in foreign policy. But the torch passes to different generations.
Well, it's
And
not
the
4 months before the election, you fucking idiot. And he doesn't even know how to put a camera on his computer. Really, look at him. You never pointed low angle, okay? That's why I got my camera here. Soon, one day it'll be up on the roof here, on the ceiling. I'll be doing the show like this. I mean, nobody wants to see your turkey neck. But shut the fuck up. In what way does this help? And it was good watching Biden tonight because it seemed like he was pissed. I am pissed too. I'm freaking pissed. Every day. I swear I got a knot in my stomach. Every single day. Listening to these pundits bury the lead, really. Because if he's gotten slower, he moves a little slower, he's still gotten a lot of things done. With dementia, if he doesn't have dementia, but you know what I'm saying. If they're saying he's slower, he's not up to it. Well, he's been fucking up to it so far. He's been up to it, and he's been delivering. For God's sakes. I just can't take the circular firing squad. It happens all the time. The debate performance, the divisions. Jesus Christ.
The party's got to refurbish itself. And we're losing
Shut
young people
up.
like doesn't hardly exist anymore.
Get the fuck out of here. We're losing young. I mean, get a grip. And I wonder, I hope and pray that when we destroy fascism again, you know, we send Traitor Trump back to Maramoron to go kiss Putin's ass in private. He could do whatever he wants with Putin, you know, 2 consenting adults in a gilded, tacky bathroom that has, well, I guess we got to worry about the classified documents in there, but I mean, when we send him packing, I hope this corporate media comes out with some kind of mea culpa, you know? Will they stop with these fucking polls finally? I don't know. I mean, all the time, you know, they're wrong all the time. I'm not saying it's not a close race because we are living in a silos of information. You have half of the media are a bunch of propagandists, a bunch of right-wing fascists who lie, who have to pay $2 billion for lying to people. And then you have the other media, the other half of the corporate media, who are doing this shit all the time. Jesus Christ. Like we're losing young people. We're losing this. We're losing that. Really? Are we? Are we really? Where are young people? Where are we losing them to? Right, Matt on the chat says, absolutely. We're losing young people to gunfire. They're dying by committing the sin of going to school in the United States of madness.
and people are crying for change, and we're telling them that you can't have that.
Hey, bitch, the fucking primary's over. Nobody's telling anybody you can't have that. There was a process. We're in this time right now. The process is Biden is the nominee. Where were you when there was a primary? We're telling them you can't have that? We're 4 months from the election. It's incredible. Who's telling what? You're telling the people who voted in the primary for Biden that they can't have that. And not only that, you're destroying us. You're killing us. You look like a fool. That's the other thing about these Democrats. They look ridiculous. The way that they're attacking their own candidate. He's not going anywhere. He said it. Shut up. You got concerns? Share it in private. But every time you get in front of a camera, you better keep the focus on the real threat here. And it's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been a good president, a great president. He's a decent man. They all say it. He's not a traitor. That's for sure. And so what? He's old. That's not the threat. That's not what the threat to democracy is. Right? The threat to democracy is the con man, the coup plotter, the coup engaged traitor who sent a mob to hang his vice president and sent the mob to defecate and urinate in the halls of the Capitol. For God's sakes, God. What the fuck? Get on the phone to Andrea Mitchell privately and share your concerns. The ship has sailed, James. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. These are the same people, though. Remember when it was the Democratic primary and Bernie won? He won Nevada in a shock turn. I had that clip. We played it here of James Carville and Claire. Claire McCaskill. I think I'm getting sick, guys. Not right now. Like, vomit is sick, but I can feel it. I think that's why my voice is raspy. I woke up this morning and I felt so exhausted. Like I could sleep another 15 hours. I didn't sleep 15 hours, but I wish I could have. Hold on. This is Tara Devlin. Become a patron. Give the show a good review on iTunes. That helps too. So James Carville, and I'm trying to find that. Oh, we don't need it. We don't need to go there. We have more videos to play, more current. I was going to look up that James Carville and Claire, and because they were saying at the time, he was saying how when Bernie won Nevada that, oh, Putin, the Kremlin's celebrating tonight. Really? James, guess who's celebrating? Listening to you now. The Kremlin sure is celebrating now, James Carville. Watching you Dems shoot our president in the circular firing squad. Fuck.
It's not good for you. Or you don't have the details flushed out yet. I got to see a better plan in this. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I have thought about it. You're ridiculous.
You know exactly what Donald Trump wants us to do. You know precisely what Steve Bannon wants us to do. And we're hell-bent on pleasing them. And
what sense are you making? It's a big mistake. Biden's a mistake. Vote for him. Right? I mean, I cannot take these people. It's a big mistake. He sucks. We're gonna lose. Shut the fuck up. God, I know the past few shows have just been me saying shut the fuck up to these people, really. Because that's all you could say sometimes. What is happening here? I don't understand. Am I the only one? And I know I'm not. Every other show, every other person who's I've encountered, no one is like, get rid of Biden. Not only is that's the stupidest, ridiculous idea 4 months before the election, but what's worse is the circle jerk of dissenters. God, these fucking idiots. Because we had a bad debate. You know, that would be in the rearview mirror now. If they allowed it.
Still do, and I'm highly unlikely to change my mind because of some namby-pamby technical reasons about how you put a town hall together.
Oh
James, let me ask you this.
Mamby-pamby.
In your scenario, how do you bypass Kamala Harris without losing a huge
He wants
part
to
of the Democratic
bypass
base?
Kamala Harris.
Well, there's two ways that we could go about this. There's two ways
Can you
Vice
believe
President Harris
this?
go about this. You have to, right now, we have to coalesce around me. To do anything else would be an insult to major elements of the Democratic coalition.
What?
I don't think that's the correct answer. The correct answer is I'm running for president. I fully intend to be our party's nominee. I fully intend to support our nominee. And I look forward to debating people in my own party. And more importantly, I look forward to debating Donald Trump because I think I can do this. In politics, I will say this very clearly. You have to express confidence. You have to think you're good. You have to say, bring on anybody you want.
Listen to him. Listen to him. Can you take your own advice, James? There's no wonder I have a migraine. No wonder I'm the stress. Listen to him. With one breath, he's talking. He's really saying like the same opposite, like out of two sides of his ass at the same time. But what are we gonna do? And blah blah. We're on track to lose. And oh shit! Now here we go again with this fucking stream. I'm getting another. Don't tell me.
Ready to go. And the press is all stuck in. If you don't do this, that, and everything else.
Again.
She comes out and says, I trust Democratic voters. I trust this process, and I'm going to work hard for it. And not only would she win and not likely win the nomination, she'd likely put herself in good position to win the general election. But by saying, how dare anybody oppose me, that's not going to go over well.
It's already happened. We've had a primary. It's happened. He's got the delegate. I can't take it, guys. Yes, exactly, Haiku. So he says I'll vote for the guy I just trashed for 20 minutes. Exactly. That's what he's saying. And he's like, it's cuckoo land. We're living in fucking cuckoo land. I know. Damn, it did it again. The YouTube just shut off again. Motherless. This happened last week, too. Same time. Same bat time. Are we back? Absolutely same time this happened. What is happening? Okay, now it says excellent condition. Right. Jim on the chat says, don't be mad. Carville doesn't understand politics. You're damn right. But he certainly loves the attention. He's married to a right-winger, too. I don't know how. You deal with that. I mean, these fundamental... It's not simply a matter of... We have two different points of views. We don't have... like, we all believe in democracy, and we all believe in an upwardly mobile, economically vibrant, working class majority. Just have different ideas how to get there. It's not... those days are gone. It's always been... I mean, since Reaganomics. Since Reagan urinated on our legs and told us it was trickling. But here's some... We'll just read some of his stupid article. Biden won't win. Democrats need a plan. Here's one. What a son of a bitch. Biden will be out of the 2024 presidential race, whether he's ready to admit it or not. Now, imagine you're him reading this. I would be pissed. Mr. Biden says he's staying in the race. But it's only a matter of time before Democratic pressure and public and private polling lead him to exit the race. Fuck you. Private polling. The jig is up, and the sooner Mr. Biden and Democratic leaders accept this, the better. I mean, how dare he? How dare he? These people, they pretend they're Democrat. They're on our side. They don't want a fascist dictatorship, and this is what they're engaged in. This is what they're spending their time on. For the first time in his life, Mr. Trump is praying. Is he? Is he? To win the White House and increase his chances of avoiding an orange jumpsuit, he needs Democrats to make the wrong moves in the coming days, namely to appear to rig the nomination for a fading president. He didn't seem fading to me tonight. He had a bad debate. He needs to be able to type all caps posts about power brokers and blah, blah, blah. He needs Democrats to blow it. We're not going to do that. We're going to nominate a new ticket in a highly democratic and novel way. Novel? Not in the back rooms of Washington, D.C. or Chicago. You had to throw Chicago in there. Because of... Why? That's like a dog whistle to right-wingers. They hate Chicago because it's Obama, right? Well, they just hate any other part of the country. They hate blue states, even though we prop up their poorly run Republican red states. And that's another thing Democrats need to remind the American people, that these people, we prop them up. Republicans, they can't govern. Their infrastructure's crumbling. They do fuck all for the people they pretend to represent. And always, we, in the blue states, have to prop them up. I don't get their red state dollars propping up New York. It goes the other way. In California, same thing. They got the California residents pay to prop up Mitch McConnell's state. And all these other states that are just licking the sewer. But as long as their Republican candidates hate the same people they do, they'll slit their own throats at all, at the command. Oh, brother, God, my God. Thank you, Progressive Voices. Come on over to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster to watch the rest of the show, because it's a good one, I gotta tell you. Even though I have a raspy voice, I appreciate you enduring. And thank you. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. That helps keep the show going and growing. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Do me a favor, call your reps and senators, call them all, and tell them to stop this circular firing squad. Enough is enough. I'll see you soon. Okay, yes, so let's see. Let's continue with this stupid article. This is what he says. This is his proposal. I want to see the Democratic Party hold four, count them, four. I'm getting rid of his face. 4 historic town halls between now and the Democratic National Convention in August. It's July 12th, ladies and gentlemen. And he wrote this article on July 8th. Not so far along. Not so far in the past. Can you believe this? All right. Town halls. Why am I... Fucking people keep texting me. I'm on the air. We can recruit the two most obvious and qualified people in the world to facilitate substantive discussions. Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Forget, VP Harris or any other woman. What about Nancy Pelosi? No, you need a couple of dudes. They may not represent every faction under our party's big tent. Our party. Now it's our party? As you're screwing us? No. But they care about our democracy as much as our nation's first president. See, that's another thing that I wish Democrats would listen to me. You know what the talking point is? That traitor Trump is not man enough to respect the peaceful transfer of power that was good enough for George Washington, but not good enough for him. There you go. That's something. That's a talking point. It's good. Peaceful transfer of power was good enough for George Washington, but not Donald Trump. Right? That's it. Sums it up. Let's see. Town halls, too. Yeah, where is it? They may not represent our big tent, but they care. They understand what it takes to be president, and they know how to win. So does Biden, by the way. Town halls, high-stake job interviews for the toughest job in the world, would surely attract television and cable partners and generate record numbers of viewers. Think Super Bowl with Taylor Swift in the stands. The young, the old, and everyone in between will tune in to see history being made. What a dumbass. Right out of his ass he pulled this, and the New York Times just plopped it right on there. How will potential nominees be chosen to participate in this magical mystery town hall? There is no answer here that will satisfy everyone, because you got no answers. You're just wasting everyone's time. Like everyone is wasting everyone's time attacking Trump because this ain't happening. It's 4 months out. Biden has the campaign funds. He's got the delegates. This is not happening. Stop it. Let's see. Hard choices need to be made. Given the tight timetable, I think leaning on the input of former presidents makes good sense. So I would advise Presidents 42 and 44 to select 8 leading contenders out of the pool. What the fuck am I doing here? Reading this. What is happening? Is this the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I would advise the 8 leading contenders out of the pool of those who would choose to run, with Miss Harris most definitely getting a well-earned invite. Oh, well, thank you, James. Aren't you gracious? Considering the women folk. I believe the vice president would be a formidable opponent. Yeah, I do too. But guess what? It's 4 months out. This ain't happening. We have a candidate. You're killing us, James. She has a hell of a story, one that more people should know. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe Presidents 44 and 42 can make the candidate selection even more democratic by consulting the nation's 23 Democratic governors in the town hall selection process. Maybe they could do that. Maybe we could invite some supermodels to run down a walkway. People like walking for fitness now. A young and old could walk. We could do a parade. We could do Hands Across America. And whoever's hands touches the most Americans gets to be the nominee. This has to happen quickly. I'm just throwing it out there, these ideas. I'm just, no bad ideas in the brainstorm. I think, why not have a consensus candidate concocted from all our most favorite talk show hosts? Oprah. Who else? Oprah. Judge Judy. And Detective Olivia Benson. I know she's not a talk show host and even a real person. But we can get Mariska Hargitay, whatever her name is. She's great. Town halls will give Americans a fresh look at Miss Harris and introduce them to our deep bench of smart, dynamic, tested leaders. In addition, not too smart to not know when to shut the fuck up, though, right? That's one thing about being smart. You know when to talk, you know when not to talk. And you know when you're writing an article, and when the New York Times calls you up and says, hey, we're going on a witch hunt against Biden. Hey. And we want you to join in. What are you up for it? Yeah, you want to make a submission? Doesn't matter what you write. Just write something that tells Biden to get the fuck out of the race. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I got it. I'm going to make up a blitz primary. I'm going to waste everybody's time. See, all this space on the page, right? All this space, all these words. There could have been so many other things being said there. Like, hey, did you know that the Republican Party is sending... Not only do they have a convicted felon, a rapist, as a standard bearer, but they're sending felons and traitors. They're tapping them to be their delegates. What does that say? What about Project 2025? Why aren't we talking about that all the time, James? You wasted all this space the New York Times gave you. And you put a bunch of stupid, you're not thinking outside the box. You're putting us all in a box. 6 feet under. You're putting the grand experiment in a box and then throwing it over a bridge. And hopefully you're weighing it down so nobody can find it. I'm not worried about the money. Americans will be fired up by this open process. No. Americans are like, what are you talking about, James? I'm not worried about time. We have excitement and momentum on our side. And our opponent, the one born with a platinum spoon and no moral compass, the pathological liar, the felon, the predator, found liable for sexual abuse, the wannabe dictator, the Putin lickspittle. See, that's all. That's what you need to say. But in the entire article, that's got to be the focus. It's been agonizing time for those who think President Biden has more than earned a second term, but isn't going to win one. Thanks to people like James Carville. Although my friend Rahm Emanuel usually gets credit, I love the way they always like, my friend this, my friend. Like George Clooney, Rob Reiner. Oh, my friend George Clooney is right. Shut up. Name dropping fucking elite bastard trying to murder us. I've heard more often that it's Winston Churchill, who is said to have advised, never let a good crisis go to waste. Oh no, what a world. I don't know, guys. Does anybody disagree with my assessment of this ridiculous circle jerk? Just let me know. We'll talk about it. Here, we got more. I got more videos to get under your skin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Which one should I? Well, this was earlier. This is Katy Tur. Oh no, let me play this. Actually, they're going with the old standbys.
In my conversations with some of my former folks that I know from our European counterparts, it is very clear that there's disarray currently amongst the ranks in Democrats here in America, at least when it comes to Washington.
So all the Democrats in disarray. They're recycling the greatest hits of the media. They didn't know what to do, right, without Democrats in disarray. It's been so long. They probably felt, oh, wow, I really missed you, Democrats in disarray.
A tough schedule. It'd be difficult for me to do all those things and not want to go to bed afterward. But he is president of the United States. He is asking the American people for another 4 years. He is under scrutiny, not because of anything that anybody else did, but because of that debate performance, which was not just a poor performance, but one that shook the confidence of fellow Democrats. Certainly not all of them, but enough of them that he has been talking about it for 2 weeks. And what we've
lived through it.
Over that course of that 2 weeks is a president whose main selling point in the last election, and I think one that is certainly important at NATO and one that is important for his reelection effort, is that he is the stable one, that he is the adult in the room, that he is in control, and that he doesn't lurch from place to place. And right now, what people have been watching over the course of the last 2 weeks, and much of it not his fault, but the reaction to him among fellow Democrats is this disarray, this instability.
There you go. There you go. Democrats in disarray. What? Oh, here's that other thing I was telling you about the average Joe person.
I hope he doesn't take this personally, but I think it's time for him to step down.
The problem is he's not going to be able to win the election.
Where are they getting this from? Imagine if the corporate media spent all this time sending somebody in the field to go and report on the the factories being built, and some the people who are paying $35 for insulin, how it's affecting their lives when they used to pay thousands. Right? I mean, they don't send, there's no man in the field for that. They're going to battleground states and finding people that are saying, oh, he's not going to win. He won't win. What is this even news? Because it feels to me like they're concocting this. And I know, you guys know, I have a master's degree. I went to school for communications. I have a master's in communications, and the one thing that everybody knows who studies communication is there's something called agenda setting, and it falls under the purview of the news. The news tells you what's important, what to focus on, or not, by the mere fact that it reports on it. This is important. That's not important. When they're doing this nonstop attack on Biden, he's old, he's not going to win. He's old, he's not going to win. Bad debate. He's old, he's not going to win. And they focus on that without any other focus. What about the lies? Go through every single lie of Trump, because we know that when those who read the transcript of the debate, it was hands down winner, that Biden won the debate because he wasn't a filthy, disgusting, baboon, bloviating liar. More like an orangutan, I guess.
Like I said, I'd vote for 2 dead flies with the wings pulled off before I would vote for Trump.
There you go.
But it's nothing personal to Biden.
So, I mean, if you're going to vote, shut up, everybody.
But we can't let that man win. We just can't. That would be the end of our country.
So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Where's my wall? I need to bang my head.
As we know it.
I think. All right, let's just forward this. I can't handle it.
Gathered that sound for us. He's in Detroit, where President Biden will be landing later this hour. Punchbowl News co-founder and MSNBC political contributor Jake Sherman is also here, along with Washington Post senior national political correspondent and MSNBC political analyst Ashley Parker, and Cook political report publisher and editor-in-chief Amy Walter.
Faces, you know, like Biden has been doing such a great job, and just look at all their fucking sour faces. So we're gonna listen to that dude? The Cook report guy?
So Gabe, what was so notable about those conversations you had were that these were all Joe Biden supporters. They all want him or a Democrat
Katy,
to win.
Calm down, honey.
Yeah, that's right,
down.
Katie. Look, those are
We know how excited you are.
voters who had voted for
Biden.
Joe Biden before. They voted Democrats. They were lifelong Democrats, but they just feel frustrated where the race is right now. And as you heard, they felt that they had no other option than for Joe Biden.
Shut up. Oh, all right. I can't. It goes on like that for days. It's now weeks. Oh, God. Here's Trump, though.
Our country is going to hell. The critical job of institutions such as Heritage is to lay the groundwork. And
he's reading the teleprompter. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Such as this. He knows nothing. But also, he's a liar, because there he is, tweeting or whatever sharding. I think that's what happens on Truth Social. That he knows nothing about Project 2025. A complete lie. But this video, of course, says otherwise.
Just does such an incredible job at that. This is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Thanks to Democrats and who insist it's coming now. It's just, give me a break. Give me a break. Make it stop, really. Oh, here's Rachel Maddow, though, with another point of view after the press conference last night.
Chris, and I won't go on at length. I will just say, though, you noted that there were some moments of, startlingly impressive command of the issues. This is just my opinion. He is not only strong on foreign policy, he is just fundamentally right on foreign policy in the way that he talks about it. And again, your mileage may vary. That is how I feel about the way he talks about our relationship with our allies and our relationship with NATO. You can hear his command of the issues, particularly in his asides, like mentioning as an offhand way that it was Turkey really that needed really to be talked into an expansion of NATO that included Finland and Sweden, talking about the numbers of Russian troop losses in Ukraine, talking about the fact that he turned in his notes after he spoke privately with President Xi, alluding to the fact that Trump had all those weird meetings with the Russians and Putin in which he'd had no note taker present. I mean, it's even in the little asides where it just shows you he is a master of the foreign policy field and has been for decades in his career in the Senate, the vice president, and the presidency.
Yeah. And somebody with Alzheimer's can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, here. Oh, I'm looking at Raw's story. A new article came up that we might like to see. Uh-oh, what happened? It just went black instead of showing the screen. Look at this. Dem lawmaker. Wait, hold on. Can you see me? Did you hear me and see me when I did that? It should have gone picture in picture. Show picture in picture. Yeah, there we go. Why is it going blank? Something is not right. All right. Hopefully everything will stay at least somewhat steady until we sign out, because I don't feel like starting the show over. Just kidding. So this is good. Dem lawmaker shreds Wolf Blitzer to his face for Biden media feeding frenzy. Let's see what that is all about. Is there a clip here somewhere? Oh, watch the video. Click here. I did click here. Wolf Blitzer. What the fuck is going on? It's going blank on me when I show my screen. That's not good. Let's try again.
I want to bring in Democratic Congressman John Garamendi of California right now. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. I know you strongly support President Biden, but as you know, the House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, says he shared the full breadth of your caucus, the perspectives that are ongoing with the president during their conversation last night. It could include some serious concerns, though, about the path forward. Do you think the president was receptive to what he heard?
I have no idea, but I do know this president was on his game yesterday. Anybody that watched that press conference had to be impressed with his breadth of knowledge, detail, and willingness to go into the extraordinarily important international issues as well as the domestic issues. 50 minutes standing up.
But look at the chyron here. Biden's NATO news conference gets mixed results. This is 9 minutes video. We won't play the whole thing. I'll just read it because it says, there's a stark difference between these two, Garamendi said. One has an understanding of what it takes to be secure in this world. On the other hand, you have Trump, who understands none of this and wants to destroy our alliances. Garamendi argued Democrats need to put an end to this debate and focus on their target in November. We need to rally, Garamendi says. We need to understand that we have an individual, the current president, that knows the issues inside and out. In his final case for Biden, Garamendi pointed to recent decreases in inflation, increases in employment and job growth, and the bipartisan infrastructure deal that invested $110 billion to repair roads and bridges, most of which actually, it's over 80%, went to Republican states. You understand that? I know you do. You guys do. But the article continues, what does Trump want to do? Take away every piece of our progress, take that apart, including giving corporate America an additional tax cut, and this is outrageous. It's outrageous policy. Absolutely. But let me see, where did he go after him? What's wrong here? What's wrong is this feeding frenzy. Yeah, Wolf Blitzer triggered this heated debate with Representative John Garamendi, a Democrat of California, when he chose to ask about calls for Biden to resign, rather than the president's recent press conference and everything else, which the California Democrat called a tour de force. What's wrong here, Garamendi asked Blitzer. What's wrong is that we have a feeding frenzy underway. He admitted Biden's debate performance was very poor. Who cares? I mean, come on. But argued the president has not faltered when it comes to governing the nation. How hard is this? He can and has governed, and he will be able to continue to govern in the future. We've got a great team as Democrats, and we need to get behind that team. There's a stark difference between Trump and Biden. as demonstrated by Biden's performance at the NATO summit. Biden received much praise from world leaders after he announced Ukraine would receive 4 new Patriot missile defense systems, along with Denmark and the Netherlands announced 85 F-16 fighters being transferred to Ukraine. Meanwhile, Trump earned some scorn from Moscow Mitch McConnell for hosting Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban at the tacky, disgusting swamp known as Maramoron. Despite his authoritarian Viktor Orban's recent meetings with Putin. Yeah, but there you go. It's a feeding frenzy. It's a witch hunt. It's absolutely uncalled for. It's outrageous. And, I mean, it's the stark contrast. Even if Trump wasn't such an unfit parasite as he is, it would still be wrong because the Democrats are scrutinized at a level that these right-wingers, that conservatives, that Republicans are never scrutinized at. Even when we had the less stupid presidents like George W. Bush, like the contender for the vice presidency, Sarah Palin. These Republicans have been dragging us down forever, but they've never been, worse than now. But they've always been stupid. They've always been on this trajectory, so it makes sense. Eventually we get to an outright con man who hates this country because he really, you know why he hates it? This is like these Republicans. They don't like anything about the country. Trump wants to steal, and he doesn't want anything getting in the way of that. He doesn't like laws. He doesn't want the Constitution getting in the way. Just like his rich benefactors, his rich buddies, and the Republicans who, the billionaires who own the Republican Party. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's Peter Welch. That's the guy from Bernie State, Vermont, the junior senator. Shut up. So here, let me remind everyone, Biden's bipartisan, not that I care, bipartisan this, because a couple of Republicans voted for it. But all of these right-wingers who took the money from the infrastructure bill, they happily boasted about and attended the ribbon-cutting ceremonies for the projects they voted against. But let's remind everyone that Biden's infrastructure bill, officially known as the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, has indeed benefited Republican-leading states significantly, despite initial opposition from many Republicans. Republican states, 7 out of the top 10 states receiving the infrastructure bill funding for clean energy and power projects are Republican states. In total, 60% of the clean energy part of the infrastructure bill is going to Republican states. In Texas, Texas has the second largest share of the funds and projects and investment coming from the infrastructure bill. That's Texas. These fuckers, they want to secede. These are the ones, right, who are always, they got Ted Cruz. He's the one that talks about New York values as if it's a pejorative. Yeah, like New York values, like running into a burning building before it collapses, right? Like we did on 9/11. The firefighters ran in, running towards danger to help your fellow citizen your fellow human. That's New York values. Diversity. They can't understand that. That's another New York value. Tolerance, in the very least. Overall distribution, and I was right, like I said before, more than 80% of the investments in the Infrastructure Act, in the U.S. clean technology through the infrastructure bill, have gone towards Republican states. Specifically, here's some specific projects. Some of the largest single investments in clean power in infrastrucstructure under the Infrastructure Act include 1.31 billion for an advanced nuclear reactor in Wyoming, and $300 million for a battery recycling facility in Kentucky. You know, Mitch McConnell, Kentucky, the fucker. That's jobs for you, Mitch McConnell, right? Moscow Mitch. And all of these right-wingers who are going to work at that plant, right? Without the manners, the maturity, the decency to say thanks. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. In the infrastructure bill, all of this is the bar here at top represents the money being spent on roads and bridges and major projects. Second largest investment in broadband, bringing broadband to the rural or poverty-riddled communities. But will they continue to vote Republican? Of course they will. Will they say thanks? Of course they won't. But they will still buy merchandise that says drinking liberal tears, won't they? And other merchandise that has Trump giving the middle finger to everyone. Because that's how much they love their fellow American. Like children, like babies. Taking our good gracious, our graciousness, the goodness of our hearts as a society, leaving no one behind. They certainly take as much. I mean, they call everybody else takers. But, we don't leave people behind. They like, and it just illustrates completely what I've always said about them, about right-wingers, that they want all the benefits of civilization, but they lack the fundamental decency, maturity to say thank you. They just don't want, they want the benefits, but none of the responsibilities we have to each other. That's what they hate. Because you have to think of somebody else. You might have to, put a piece of cloth on your face, right? When you go to a store, so you don't pass the worldwide pandemic germs on to somebody that might have a pre-existing condition. I'm really losing my voice here. But I thank you for putting up with it. I do feel rather like I'm fading. I can see my eyes. My eyes feel heavy. Like red, I hope I'm not gonna get sick. Officially. I'm gonna go to bed straight after this and dream of a world with no Republicans. What a beautiful world that would be, right? Not that, I want them to get help so they stop being the albatrosses around our national neck. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you for hanging out. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. We stick together, we win. Give the show a good review on iTunes. Tell your friends. That's another one that helps. Invite them to Friday, our Friday gathering. I'd like to meet them. Meet and greet them. I'll see you soon. Wouldn't that be fun? Meet and greet them. Now I'm getting another thing, another error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What is going on with this shit? What is going on? I'm gonna have to do something about this fucking I don't know if it's me, the internet. I have Spectrum. It sucks. I admit that. And I should look into FiOS. I hear that's pretty good. But that's why being a patron would help. Everything, you gotta think of everything, right? All right, I'm losing my voice. I'm very sorry. Let's get unconscious. We do everything together, so let's say in 15 minutes we all get unconscious, okay? And then we wake up. What time you want to wake up tomorrow? 8? 9? 8:30? We have to coordinate. Okay, non-useful says, I'm watching you on YouTube and it's fine here. That's good. But I'll show you. Look. See this error right here? YouTube is not receiving enough streaming, enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know why. All right. I love you. Try not to spend all the PP. What PP? The PayPal. JD, did you send me a PayPal? Oh my God. You lucky English bastard, you. I want to be English. I gotta go back. That's my people. You realize that? Yes, from Ireland, but I did 23andMe. All of my 98% of my DNA is English. English and Irish. In fact, my ancestors come from East Anglia. That's pretty interesting, right? Why did my granny have to come here? Jesus Christ. I could have a nice accent like JD. But now I gotta sound like this. Like this fucking accent. Damn it. Damn it, JD. What the... Why can't I open up PayPal? What's happening, world? Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell? JD? Did I ever send you a mug? You need a mug. Did you get... Or some other... Why don't you... Thank you. All I can say is, God damn it. Thank you. This is going to be very handy. I already know where it's going. You know where? It's going to Hernan to pay for his services. He does the shorts. Thank you, JD. I'm very, very appreciative. I'm touched, really. I'm touched in the head, but I'm also touched by your generosity. Shit, man. Thank you, guys. And thank everybody else for your generosity, keeping the show. The super chats, Jim and Matt and Pookie's mommy. Oh, wait, I missed your message there, Pookies. I didn't even see it until right now. Trump doesn't like dogs or cats. Rather, they don't like him. Vote for Biden. He loves dogs and cats. Exactly. Exactly. I will buy Spooky some treats, Jim. He needs them. He's very good. And what else was I going to say? There was one more thing I had on my mind there. But thank you, JD. Oh, yes, JD. Are you on the Discord page? We do have a Discord community. Link in the description. If you're on the Discord page, you could send me a message. And I will... I could get you a mug. you could pick out a shirt or something from the Tarabuster merch store, and I'll get it to you. Anything. A shirt, a mug. Well, that's pretty much it. Or I got to put some more merch up there, more designs. If you have a special request design, I can do that for you. But thank you. You know, I want to thank you, so I really appreciate that. I'll get you a mug or something. All right? All right, my loves, my friends, my little loves, my peeps, my peoples, my peoples. I love you. Yes, isn't she oh my God. Haiku. Is she sleeping on her face? You saw her sleeping on her face? Did I show a picture of that? Yes, Haiku says, I love how Boudica sleeps on her face. She sleeps on her face. It's so funny. Did I put that on Discord? I forget. It's so adorable that she sleeps on her face. No, I didn't. I'll put it on Discord. She just did it. She does it all the time. It's hilarious. The first time I saw her do it, she was sleeping on the chair over there. I have a chair that they all take turns sleeping on it. And I walked in here and she was sleeping on her face, and I thought there was something wrong with her. And I was like, Boudica, are you okay? And then she just looked up. I thought she was like, well, you know, she's too young. I didn't think she was hurt bad, but I thought, what the hell's wrong with her? I have a picture of it. She just did it recently. I took a picture. It's so funny. I've never had a cat that do that. That done do that. Sleeps on their face, like flat on her face. Look, I got a picture. Flat on her. Isn't that funny? Just right on her face. She's so weird. Here's another angle. Flat on the face. Very strange. Face sleeper. So cute. So weird. What a weirdo. But she does it a lot. That's so funny that you saw it. I'll have to get some more pictures of that. That's cute. All right, my friends. Oh, yes. JD says, because JD lives in England. Hi, fellow Tara fans. We made the right choice here after 14 years. I know. I hope we don't have to go backwards, though, here. It's going to be very scary. And the more Biden talks about the Project 2025, which he did tonight in his speech, the more I think people are not going to they're not going to vote for Trump. Anyway. It's true. They won't. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully on Wednesday or the next day hopefully I'll do the weekday show this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Let me see what's up with my calendar. But hopefully we should take a bet here, you know? You think this will be over? This bullshit? You think this bullshit will have blown over? Will the corporate media shut the fuck up about it? Because it'll be another week. We'll be going into our third week now of this nonstop Biden bash witch hunt. That's what we need to call it. It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. All right, guys. Listen. I gotta go. Sorry for my raspy voice. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Haiku, for being a moderator, and Jim for being a moderator, of course. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Matt, and Pookie's mommy, Irene. You guys are great. And thank you, patrons. Please reach out if you have any requests. tarabustermedia@gmail.com or wherever. On Discord, too. All right, my friends. You're the best. I miss you already, but I gotta get unconscious. Hopefully I can sleep this budding cold off. And I will definitely see you during the week.